This vaccine is what up is now, but Taylor in Todd. Like, so the link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. So let's into this vaccine in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, so I know it's been a bit since we picked up the camera and gave you an update, but there's been just so much happening here with Charlie, but we wanted to start off by saying thank you all so much for the love and support that you have all given to us. It's been really helpful reading all your stories and your comments, and yeah, just sort of really helped us understand that what we're going through is a very typical experience and we're not alone in the feelings that we're feeling. It really validated the emotions we've been going through.
It's obviously this is like it's a sad time in our life, but like Todd said, knowing that we're not alone in this experience, it's been more helpful than we really expected it to be. So thank you again for the support. It means more than we could ever say.
Yeah, so we wanted to just kind of sit down today and explain what's been going on, what we do know, and why we haven't been here for the last few weeks. So when in the last video, we were getting ready to go to the vet college in PEI because of Charlie's heart murmur. His heart is in fact perfectly healthy, and there is a tumor that is about the size of his heart inside of his chest, which is pushing on the heart, which caused the false positive for the arrhythmia.
Basically, we left there with them telling us that there was nothing that we could do because the tumor inside of his chest is inoperable as well. It's to the point now where we should take him home and have, you know, a few weeks of quality time together. And that was really, really devastating. Anyone that's had a pet knows it's an inexplicable feeling. It made me feel like just so stomach sick.
And it came out of nowhere because, as we said in the last video, this all was just presenting as a lipoma, which is just like a typical fatty growth that is like, I think a lot of dogs get it, but golden retrievers get them quite a bit. And he's had them before and they've been removed. So that's why this all came out of nowhere, that the arrhythmia and then now the tumor, and that we were down to just weeks. So it was a gut punch.
Yeah, so bringing him home and like, you know, starting the grief process, the reason we haven't been posting is because it's a lot. Like picking up the camera when, like we literally cried the whole last video, and we're not gonna do that today because
I haven't promised yet because I'm still get emotional about it, but I am doing a lot better.
Yeah, having time away to reflect together on this last chapter of our lives. Like we've had Charlie for 12 years and we've grown so much as a couple, so much has changed. This season of our life sort of feels like it's coming to an end. So it hasn't just been Charlie that we're grieving. It's hard to explain. Grief is so complicated and so nuanced. Anyway, the point being is going through that, it was an important time to just be alone and work through it.
Oh.
It's okay.
I'm actually fine. I'm not just like a mess. It's just like thinking about all the work we did. It was crazy. And like what was really hard for us to come to terms with is like our life has twisted and turned so much. We always say we've lived like 16 lives in the 15 years that we've been together. But Charlie, for 12 years of those, has been the thread that's weaved all those stories together. And to know that that thread is running out was kind of hard. But
Oh, man.
said we were good. See what I mean? This is why it's hard to like...
It's hard to talk. So, but it does, I want to like assure you all, like...
We're good.
we are good.
So after a few days of self-wallowing and crying, we realized that the type of people we are, we need more answers than just you have a couple weeks. So that set us on a path. We got a referral to a clinic in New Brunswick where we were able to get some more advanced testing. They did a CT scan to get a better idea of what exactly is this tumor.
How big is it exactly? What are the margins? Like, just, like the CT was really comprehensive. We were able to find out he had other masses inside that the ultrasound and the x-rays didn't pick up. So that conversation was now the third specialist, and they confirmed, like, there is nothing that can be done. So
And that the one on the neck had actually, it was vascular, so then that started to make us believe it was in fact cancer. So we had a bunch of biopsies done,
Oh,
and
really?
none of them were able to come back conclusive of what type of cancer it was, which has added to the confusion through all of this, but just that it is cancer.
and it's a round cell grade
Aggressive.
aggressive cancer. So it could be a carcinoma, it could be a sarcoma. There's like, we've learned so much science stuff in the last few weeks.
It's a blur to me. You've learned a lot. I have to give a huge shout out to you. Honestly, you've done so much research and figuring it out. I tend to shut down when things get tough.
Yeah, we're the opposite in that sense. Like, yeah, like I don't shut down. I'm like, we need a plan. We need to figure it out. So
Yeah.
once the vet in New Brunswick, you know, analyzed all of the CTs and everything, and we found out, like, okay, it's like there is nothing that can be done. We went back home, back to Nova Scotia, and then, you know, continued on with the crying and the grief.
Something that's been really helpful through this grieving process, and it's not our idea, we found it online, but it's been really helpful, has been writing a journal. So we together journal every day what it is we did that day, so that when the time comes that Charlie's no longer with us, we know that this time when he's been sick was actually a good time.
It's really important, like every day, reflecting back and, you know, seeing all of the positives and all of the memories that we made together. This is just like a silly one. Had a hotel breakfast, bacon and eggs. We drove home from
Bacon,
Moncton
yes.
and we went to the beach. I smelled some tulips and Dad made me a turkey.
How are you so smart? How do you know that that's for you? Me? Look.
That's okay. Oh.
Easy. Earl's turn. Easy. Easy.
Oh.
Easy, Eddie. And every day we just sort of like keep track.
But it's written from Charlie's perspective of what the day was, which I think it's going to be really helpful.
Well, especially like when the inevitable day does come, to be able to look back and know that we gave him the best possible days. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that has been really helpful is reading the comments and the messages and stuff from you. And one that really stuck with me that was so helpful in me understanding all of this was that dogs live right up until the last moment of their life. And I didn't quite understand it at first, but then we had really good conversations and we realized that obviously a dog's brain works differently than us, and they don't understand sickness and death to the same way that we do. Charlie's not sitting here wondering what's in the afterlife, like, did I make the right decisions all through life?
He's not afraid. He's not wondering like what's next for me. Like the knowledge that we all have as humans is a blessing and a curse. Dogs don't have the existential dread of like,
So
you know.
we can do Charlie a service by putting our sadness away, or if we do need to cry, we go into the bedroom, we don't do it in front of him, because that way we have tons of time to grieve when he's gone, but he doesn't understand why we're sad, so why even have the sadness in the house?
Yeah.
Just working through all of these feelings and emotions has, it's been a really important process the last few weeks. And thankfully, BetterHelp, who happens to be the sponsor of today's video, we've been using it a little bit more regularly lately.
Yeah, it's been really helpful because what I did for myself is I actually found a new therapist, one that specializes in grief and life changes, because that's what I'm going through right now. And it was a completely free thing to do and has really helped with me being able to, you know, say the feelings that I have, come to terms with my own understanding of death and like my apparent fear of it. So,
And like the thing about therapy is people often say this to us, like, well, why do you need it? Like, your life seems so great, and like, what do you have to be sad about? That's not what therapy is about, or for me, it's not. Therapy is about finding the tools to show up in your life and, you know, find the silver linings. Like that to me, therapy has given me that, and I don't know where I would be without it.
Yeah, so if you want to try BetterHelp for yourself, use the link in the description box down below or head over to betterhelp.com/Tyler and Todd and you'll save 10% off your first month.
And thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring us and for supporting our channel. It really means a lot. What was really important to me, knowing that it is a terminal diagnosis, was to recenter how we're feeling about it and not make it about us. Yes, we're sad. Yes, it's devastating. But the most important thing is Charlie and his happiness, his comfort, and we don't want to put him through anything. We don't want to make him suffer. So I did a lot of research on palliative oncology. So much like humans, that's a whole stream in veterinary medicine that exists, but we live in a relatively small place. Atlantic Canada is not big population-wise, so that just wasn't a service that we had here. So that led us to Montreal, where they have an entire division dedicated to that. And we met with an oncologist who reviewed everything for Charlie, and that's where things completely took a turn. So this, by now, is our fourth opinion, and from that, the oncologist agreed, yes, it's terminal and it's a few weeks without intervention. With intervention, we could potentially get up to a year with him, which...
And the thing is, throughout all of our exploring and consults, the number one focus has been on extending the quality time that Charlie has. It's not just about extending his time. And so I just want to preface that this extra year is of quality time.
Yeah, it's not him like wasting away and being like a skeleton, like in pain. It's like Todd said, actually like running on the beach still and like having a good time. So because we had spent the last few weeks, anticipatory grief and just like the counseling and everything that we've been doing to prepare for that, as exciting as the prospect was of potentially getting a year, we weren't really allowing ourselves to go there mentally. Like if we could get an extra few months, well then that would just be amazing. So because Montreal is so far from home, they were able to develop the protocol so we could administer it closer. So we still had to drive to New Brunswick in order to do that, but exactly a week ago, he had his first round of chemotherapy, and it's an incredibly powerful drug called doxorubicin, and it's used in humans. It's a very broad spectrum chemotherapy drug given by IV. And
we went with the oncologist went with a broad spectrum one because we don't know exactly what type of cancer it is still, but this was like our best shot in the dark of like hitting it hard. And the other thing as well is with that chemotherapy, we were really hesitant to do it because we didn't want him to suffer, but weirdly, chemotherapy doesn't affect dogs like it affects humans. Yeah, so only I don't know. 15%. Yeah, it's up to 15%, and there's actually new studies coming out that show that it might be even less than that, but right now only 15% of dogs actually have side effects from chemo. Fortunately, Charlie was not one of that 15%.
Wow,
he
really?
Did well. He was a little skeptic, I would say, of food for like breakfast more so in the mornings. Like waking up, he was a little nauseous for the first 3 or 4 days, but now, like Ty said, it's day 7, and he's fully back to himself. And which is like, we weren't expecting that, but the craziest thing is the tumor on his neck, I'm not kidding, is half the size, and after 48 hours of the initial dose, it just like started shrinking. Like every hour we were feeling it, and it was smaller. It looked like it was going to burst out of his skin. Like that's how fast it was growing. And now, because the skin is stretched, it's just sort of saggy and sitting in there, if that makes sense. Yeah, it sounds gross, but then more importantly is, as we've been the last few weeks going through all of this, it was getting to the point where he could only lay in one position or he couldn't breathe properly. Like his heart rate, he was just like, he was wheezing. Well, and like the tumor in his medial sternum, which is where the one inside of him was, it was pushing on his lungs. So he was breathing really fast, short breaths.
Oh,
because that's all the space that his lungs had to move because of the tumor. But now he's back to breathing typical of what he did before all this started. Running on the beach, like it's literally like nothing happened. So because he reacted so positively to the chemo, we said to the clinic,
look at the what
if there's
doggies.
anything that can be done, anything that's non-invasive, non-surgical to continue supporting him, anything like, clinical trials, like we're down to try anything. And as it turns out, there is.
So I don't know the technicalities. I'm not a science guy, but basically there's now two types of radiation. There's the broad spectrum radiation, which has been used for years in cancer treatment, and then there's this new one called stereotactic radiation, which is kind of like a surgery without opening up a person.
It's called radiosurgery.
Yeah.
So basically it uses this very, very calibrated and expensive, powerful machine. There's only one available here, and it's not here, it's all the way in Toronto. So,
and it's a 3-month wait just
Toronto.
for the consult to even see if you're a candidate to get into there.
so we were like, okay, now we've got this like carrot dangling in front of us. Like this could really buy him time, like a year, maybe even 2 years more time. So
Yeah.
how are we going to get into this sooner? And we tried to
Can we build a machine? Like,
we tried to like pull strings and do everything we could in Toronto, but the demand is just so high. So then we started looking further afield, and we found a clinic in New Jersey that only specializes in this type of non-surgical cancer intervention.
for canines.
You do
Yeah.
Like, exactly what we needed.
Yeah, which, I mean,
Wow.
the US really does have everything. Like, if there's like a procedure or like anything that you need, it's just the population, right? It's 30 minutes from New York City. So think of all the dogs there that would need that.
Yeah.
So that set us down the path of like, can you please squeeze us in? Like, we'll do anything. Like,
Is he a candidate given
Yeah.
like the types of cancer he has and the CTs and stuff? So
Yeah, so we had our consultation with them. The oncologist, the radio stereotactic oncologist, if you can believe that that's a title.
in canine medicine.
Yeah, she analyzed everything, and Charlie is the perfect candidate for this procedure.
And
Wow,
we're in the
that's
perfect
really good.
window because
Yeah.
the way that his chemo works is he had his first dose and he's responding well to it. So then 21 days later, so now 14, he will get another shot of chemo, and then if he keeps responding well, there'll be a third one 21 days later. But because there's such a significant shrinking of the tumor and we're 1 week out from when the chemo was administered, this is a 1-week treatment, and then it gives another week buffer before the next chemo.
round, yeah.
So all of this is to say we're actually loading up the car and leaving tomorrow to go down to New Jersey, which is also kind of exciting because we've never been to New Jersey, we've never been to New York City, so we're going to stop in there and
Yeah,
just
and-
get like a road trip with Charlie.
Yeah, it's
What will
honestly, this is like a lot of information, and I hope we're like not going too far into the weeds here, but we
It's
just
us.
yeah, we just wanted to share all of this with you because the last few weeks they've been really difficult, and it's been like what feels like the lowest lows I can ever remember feeling. Like, I know a lot of people will probably think like he's just a dog, but like he's not just a dog. He's literally like our best friend. Like the bond. Oh,
He's so sweet and special and just has the biggest heart ever. And honestly, I know
we're just big animal people. Like
Yeah.
I would literally do anything for an animal. Like they're so innocent, and
Yeah.
I know not everyone is like our dog people out there, but if you are, I'm sure you understand.
And if you're not, or you're one of those people that wants to comment, oh, he's just a dog,
I'm a dog person and a cat person, so I'm both. I like cats and dogs, so yeah.
honestly, keep it to yourselves because it's special. Everyone has something that is special to them that someone else might not see why they prioritize it. And for us, our animals is that special thing.
Yeah, so, yeah. Anyway, all of that's to say is like hope is just such a beautiful and powerful thing. And like Todd was just saying, the fact that, we're going to be going on this road trip together. We're going to take him to Central Park. He's going to see the ducks and like all of the things that we've been researching, things to do
He's
in
hoping
New York.
like in New Jersey, he's hoping to meet Snooki.
It's going to be a big trip. It is. It's just a really. It feels good to have this hope, and it just goes to show, like, keep looking for answers. Like, you can get told by 5 different people that this is the end, but like it may not actually be that. So that just has me feeling really really hopeful and excited.
Yeah, that's one thing I learned. Like, we've had amazing care throughout this from all of our vets, and like, I don't want to like say that it's been bad or anything, but I think far too often, not just in like vets, but just too far in life, people are so quick to write something or someone off because of how much work they perceive it's going to be to make it better.
And you don't know what you don't know. So like I said, we're in a really small area, and how would a local vet who's dealing with, spaying and neutering and maybe like tick medication and just like the basic things that an animal goes through, they don't know about specialized advanced treatments like that. Like, they didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, and like their scope is so wide too. Like, it is fascinating how much knowledge a vet does have to have. Just your local vet. Like, today they could be doing a cat, a dog, a tortoise, and then gotta go out to the farm and deal with a horse. Like, there's so much.
Yeah, there's just so much to it. So basically, this is what we've been doing for the last few weeks. I kind of feel like I missed a calling in a way. I would have, in a different life, loved to have been a vet. I've learned so much.
Who happens to be the sponsor of today's video?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think I could have been a vet. I could be like a vet for the puppies and the babies and the healthy ones, but I wouldn't be able to do this. This is a strong type of person to like see this constant. It's not just the sick animal, but the like crying, the amount of times I've cried in front of strangers over this last little bit.
Yeah, and you always apologize. You have to stop apologizing. It's okay to to feel the feelings, and that's actually, we're on a little bit of a tangent here, but throughout this process, that's what we've learned is when you're feeling sad, let it out, because as horrible as it feels in that moment, it feels so good after to work through that. So thank you for understanding why we haven't been here the last couple of Sundays, and the future Sundays, we don't really know what they hold. We're hopeful, we're optimistic. We think it could be fun to like bring you along to New York and like just share the updates as they come. So by the time you're watching this, hopefully we've made it to New Jersey. We're just going to pack up the vehicle now and head out. We've got a 14-hour drive ahead of us, so I think we're probably going to do it over a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to fly by. We're going to play I Spy, sing some songs, tell some stories. It's going to be great.
Help. Anyway, we thought that it would be cool to do a live stream tonight after this video. So at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing a live stream on Patreon. So if you scan this QR code or click the link in the description box down below, you can head over there and join us on the live.
But one thing about it, Apple has this new thing. Like, so if
you have an iPhone.
Yeah, if you have an iPhone and you sign up for anything or pay for anything through the Apple Pay, they add 30% on.
Which is wild.
Yeah, so
really wild.
We just wanted to let you guys know that if you are going to sign up and you have an iPhone, go to the, like, on a computer, because you won't be paying Apple, because they really don't need more money. Shareholder profits above everything else,
Ain't that the truth?
Profits, people, planet.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, you guys, and for the patience and the support. It really, it means more than we could ever say. We're so lucky to have all of you in this community. And
also thank you for, allowing us our time and privacy to just kind of do what we needed to over the last couple of weeks. It really, really meant a lot to us, and we just wanted to say a huge thank you and that we love you all.
Yeah, so with all that said, we're going to hit the road and get Charlie down to the Big Apple and
and then off to see Snooki.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Wow. That was what up is now by Taylor and Todd. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like. And comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new. And click the bell so you can be notified. Minute below. Bye. Wow.